do a commercial first.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday with Dr. D, Time Spiritual Connections, Women's Circle. As you know, today we're going to talk about abundance of things and exercises, as well as what we're going to do is go to our favorite thing and go to commercial. So be prepared. Here we go, Dr. D. So if you also want to call in, I will give you another number. It's 818 570. Oh, they just disappeared, right? Look at the bottom of the screen. 818-570-0342. That's the number you can call it, and we're going to go take this commercial break, and we will be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Sunday, and this is Dr. D, Women's Circle, the door of many colors. This is your Sunday with me. We're still trying to figure out a time on Sunday works for everybody because I got people on the East Coast. I got people like in Texas, so they got a different time. Then I got my people in Hawaii. They're like, that's way too early. They was like 5 o'clock in the morning, Sussy. Oh, really? We can't be doing this. And then some people was another day on the other side of the world. That's my other play mama. She's in Thailand. She said, now, you know I'm not getting out of my bed at 4 o'clock on no Monday morning when it's not even necessary. So, but I got the support, and I love everybody that's out here support me. And we got my sister's beautiful queen, Sister Fabu, and she does the red tent. And this even give us information for us to understand. And today I want to talk about in the grace of being wisdom and an elder of wisdom, and also as our body goes through these beautiful changes, how to embrace them. That's what we're going to talk about. Also, we're going to do some recipes, and we're also going to do some exercises. The exercises I chose this particular day as exercises that I've done for years and just recently start doing is Falun Gong or Falun Dafa, which exercises the mind, body, and soul and puts it together. They're 5 different exercises, and it'll be for 15 minutes. And the music is also a meditation. So when you're doing this, so this is just to summon up the exercise. The exercises you do repeatedly 9 times, but because it is being recorded, the guy only did it, Master Stephen only did it 3 times. So you do it 9 times. Just want to put it out there. So for you guys that don't know, I am Dr. D. I'm CEO of Food Alchemy Network. Where can you find us? You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, Dr. Cicely D'Angelo face page. You can find us on Twitter, Twitch, and also you can find us on LinkedIn. You can find us basically on Spotify as well as a download. So if you're listening to this and you want to hear it and you're on the road, you can find us on Spotify, Castbox, any of those stations. Just put Food Alchemy Network podcast and you'll find us. We're just like all over the place. We're still reaching our goal of 24 hours, 24 of Food Alchemy Network. I'm trying to tell you, it's making it happen. Maybe these dots out here connecting. I don't know. say happy Sunday to you. I want to bring on a guest doctor. Oh, ooh, okay. You working on a doctorate or some, Sister
Girl, you
Fabu?
know what? Y'all better quit speaking that because I don't even have the patience to defend anything. But that's about the third time I done heard that. All right now. I got enough I can handle.
But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Um, so tell us about Mr. Fabu, because you're in a lot of different things. You got your hands in a lot of different pots, as you said, and you're doing a lot of different things. So tell us about some of the things that you do.
Okay. I'd rather start out with who I am rather than the things I do.
Okay.
Who
Okay. Who
I am,
are you?
who I am kind of who I am kind of made what I do, you know what I mean? I always like to think of myself as a feminine aspect of the cosmic energy and creative intelligence, which I call God, the supreme being. That's what I call God. And as a result of that, I'm on a mission, and my mission
Okay.
is to reveal its presence or its existence to all that I encounter. I always like to say, when I first came to this plane, I was given the name Rita Joyce Houston. And then later in life, I became known as Fabu Ife Ulo Modupe. And that's beautiful woman, for the love of God, I am grateful, for which I am. And when I became aware of who I am, I started to understand what I do, how what I do attaches to that, you know? And I made a lot of mistakes. I've made a whole lot of mistakes, and I'm sure that as I continue this journey on life, I'll make a lot more. But one of my favorite sayings
Okay.
is, throw me to the wolves and I'll come back leading the pack. And so, talking about what I do, some of the things I do in order to carry out that mission. Well, I'm a founder and executive director of a nonprofit called Journey Inward, because what we do is a journey inward.
Right.
I'm also the co-founder and executive director of a nonprofit called You Empower You, because no matter what we give you, what we tell you, what other people say, you got the power. Only you have the power to empower you. So, and then
Right.
I'm a mother, a grandmother. I ain't no great grandmother. I am a certified mindfulness meditation instructor. I'm God, what else? God, I'm just all over the place. I also have a program called Women of the Red Tent. Um, and that's under You Empower You. It's a program where sisters get together, and just like you today, we're going to talk about those things that we don't normally talk about, and how we can pass those things on to the younger generation. So that's what Women of the Red Tent is. And I've also been affiliated with working with women in prisons, women who have been trafficked, human trafficked, sexual trafficked. But even though it seems like I'm all over the place, if you notice, there's a thread, a common thread in all of that. And that's service to the people.
Also, yeah, and you're helping enrich a lot of people's lives and give them some information and some guidance. So we appreciate that. At least I appreciate that. So I appreciate you. So I want to
Thank you.
say
I
thank you
got you.
for your time. Okay. So I brought this about because I was saying that we don't talk about some of these things that our bodies go through. And I like that you're part of the Red Tent. I had a chance to introduce a young lady that made the corporation with Tamika. I don't remember her name anymore. Shame on me. Of the Red Tent. She was decided to invent the corporation and went and said, "Oh, I thought this was great." And I said, "Well, this reminds me of when the original people would actually have the women, when it was that their moon, would go in the tent and they would support her during that time and bring her food and help her out, whatever, almost like giving birth. But it was all in the tent. And all the mothers came and they helped. We kind of lost that tradition in some of the original people, but some people that I still see do that, like some Asiatic um, traditions. I've seen it do it. Some different South American countries still do it. Some African countries still do it. I've seen, so
And those of us here in America still do it. We just don't connect the dots. You know what I
okay,
mean? Yeah, and we do it in smaller. We don't make it a community effort. You know what I mean? It becomes a community effort, like it's me and you. You know what I'm saying? You and I, however the grammatically correct way to say that. But
right,
you have your little small circle of girlfriends when they're going through things, and they super emotional. You kind of band together, so we do it here. We're just not aware of it, which is one of the things that in Women of the Red Tent we try to become aware of that, because it was a deeper purpose for those sisters getting together in that red tent. And that was, once they got everything out of the way and they kind of looked at each other, they kind of understood that our purpose here at this time is, because we're so connected to the universe, is to talk about the problems and the issues that plague us, that plague our families, that plague our communities, that plague the world, and they spend that time together thinking about those things. So that's the bigger purpose, along with, that's the bigger purpose for the red tent, which is why the tent is red, to symbolize the menses.
okay. See, that works. That works because it brings new life, and
Mm-hmm.
it all is a transport of new life, is like I like to
Mm-hmm.
say. So it
Mm-hmm.
also cleanses and detoxes the body. So it has a lot of different purpose. It also can be used spiritually. Some people don't
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about that, and we won't.
But that's okay.
But
Yeah, everybody, what it say? Water seeks its own level.
right,
Everybody got to relax where they are.
right. So I just want people to feel a little bit more comfortable about their awareness of who they are, because we don't sit down and talk about it to young people. For me, like I shared with others, I had a traumatic experience getting my cycle, because I was with my dad, and my mom and my dad separated, and I was getting cramps, and I didn't know what was going on. I just know my tummy hurt. So I went to my mom every other weekend and stayed with my dad, lived with my dad. And my mom came, and, my dad dropped me off for my weekend to go with my mom. And something was going on, didn't know what was going on. And I went upstairs and I thought I was dying. So I told her, I was like, I'm dying, I'm dying. My
Scared you
mom,
out.
yeah, I thought I was dying. And my mother said to me, her words to me was, she was laughing. She thought it was funny. And to me, that was like traumatic. But it happened to be my mom had a lady that she fostered into her home that was pregnant, a young woman that was pregnant that got, kicked out of her home and was having a baby. So my mom invited her to come and stay with us. And she happened to hear me and my mom laughing. So she knocked on the door. She was very polite. And she said, little sister, she said, you're not dying. You're just going through the change of life. And I was like, what does that have to do? What's going on? And she broke it down, and I said, oh, okay. And then she handed me a pad, and she said, you have a choice, a tampon or a pad. So for you, your first time, I would use a pad. And that was the end of it. It wasn't a discussion or, like you change or in directions. Like you don't do that. I decided not to use tampons because in my time I heard about what was it? toxic syndrome. So if you use them, it would build up in your system and it caused poison and other things. And I didn't realize. But it wasn't just that. We wasn't educated about the pads and the stuff they put in the pads and the stuff they put in the tampons. We were not educated. We just thought we were putting, actually, some of us were putting fiberglass up there and using it as a shield. We're putting that in and cause different harms to our body because we were not aware. So for me, talking to other women, which happened, she's like, this is what you do. You don't keep that on all day. Oh, something like that. You need to know. So it's kind of great to have that conversation because another young lady that happened to be at school happened to go through the same thing. She didn't know what to do and kept it in all day, and it had an odor. So I took her down to nurse and told her she needed to call her mom and she needed to have more pads. And she's like, well, I thought I keep it on all day. It's like, no, you have to change it. You have to be on top of it. That's very important to know. And how to wash. That's, just these are basic things that we don't talk about with young people.
I wonder why. Why do you think it is that we don't talk about it?
Because we think it's nasty. And how does something that comes out of your body be nasty?
Exactly.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's me, but that's the way the way it's presented to a lot of us is, ooh, the girl, that's so disgusting. But no, that is a natural form. It's natural.
So you're saying that we need to have these conversations to dispel some of those myths around the menses and what to expect when you're right. Earlier you were saying that we've kind of lost our way. It's because we kind of like fish out of water. And right. I agree wholeheartedly. But then when you think that there's a missing link somewhere, and that missing link came when those who were before us could only give us what they knew.
You're right.
And they got a lot of what the persons before them knew, and we didn't know that we could talk about it. And that's why I'm glad that you're having this show where we can talk about it, such that should never happen, especially in this day and time. A young lady should never be surprised that she's having a cycle, or that she's getting ready for menses.
Well, I'll give you an example. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt you. A young lady that's raised by her father. You know what I mean? Because there are a lot of men raising their daughters. So when they have that, they don't know. Fathers are really scared. They're very protective of their daughter, but they don't want it to be funny because society has got it. You got to be like this with your daughter.
So what about those? I mean, what are the support systems? What other support systems are there for this father and daughter? Are they just in the world all by themselves?
They're not. I hope they're not in the world, but there are now some organizations of father and daughters coming together.
I'm talking about their strengths. For example, like you say, and I'm just wondering, because it's like you said, we were just talking about one example, fathers who are raising daughters. I commend those fathers, because that's a whole, it's hard for mothers to raise daughters. And as we were just talking about, but I was wondering, where is the human capital in that relationship? Well, because if there's human capital, there should be another relationship where that daughter should be able to get that. And so that's what we've lost, that socialization piece of it, is how we reach out to others and how it takes a village, and we are not a village anymore.
Right. See, I was blessed because I was able to have my dad later on after I got my cycle, and he lived in Delaware. So everybody knows I had 5 fathers. So I was a real blessed girl. Okay. So that's why I'm kind of like, that
What were
energy that sits with me. My dad taught me, and my dad taught me how to walk in heels. He took
Mhm.
me and showed me how to present myself. And my dad had a conversation about what men would say for me to drop my underwear.
Mhm. But was he
So
able to walk you through your menses?
yes, this particular father, yes, he was. He had no
Good.
problems. He went to the store and actually bought them. He would keep them right there at his house,
Mm.
and that
So
was
he
one
acquired
thing.
his, he acquired his. Well, that's good though, because a lot of men don't have that acquired knowledge. So yes, that's what when you said. That's why you said that earlier. You were very lucky because you
Yes,
were.
yeah, he didn't take no mess. I mean, I was blessed to have him in my life. He's no longer here, but he gave me an example of what a man, how a man should treat me, and what to expect. And he said, I might not do all the things that I want a man to treat you. And I called him on the carpet. I was like, Dad, so if you want some man to treat me better than you treating another woman, somebody's daughter or sister, and you want somebody to treat your sister and your daughter right, I've seen. So why would you do that? And he looked at me. He said, you know what? Now I gotta go back in my room and think about it. And that's what he said. He said, I'm human. And I was like, but daddy, that's not right. You want somebody to treat me better than you treating somebody you dating. That's not cool. So I'm it. I said, you're a reflection of what I'm gonna see in a man. So I might get that man the way you're treating her to me. So you gotta do right by them so I can get what I need for me.
Right, and
And
you
he
can
just
get it
looked at
from
me.
them because if the women in his life were in his life, then you can learn from them the things that that you need.
Mhm.
So yeah, I can see that because everything is tied to mental health. You know what I mean, and your
Right,
experiences, and we're all the sum total of our experience. You know what I mean? Even though the core of us is the same, we're all the sum total of our experience. And if it hasn't been in our experience to have those things discussed with us, the only place that we're going to say anything about it is in a safe environment, which is what
right,
we as sisters in conversations like this is supposed to, or oh, I shouldn't say supposed to. That's what the aim is, to create an
right.
environment where we can talk about those things. Because I, like you, was very lucky when my menses came. I had already heard. My mother really didn't know how to talk to me about it, but I was always a reader. You know what I mean? So my mother would
Mhm.
see books and give me books, about it, and
Wow.
that was a lot of things that I didn't know. Um, and like you said, as you start to study about these things, you find out just how everything is connected. The body image, the self-esteem, the mental, all of it is tied to the menopause, like you said, and all it is a change of life. Even because even
Right.
when you come out on the other side, it's a change of life when you've gone through it. But you're right. And if we as women could be really in touch with our emotions, and
Right.
feelings, especially
There you
at
go.
those times, because they are very heightened. You know what I mean? They are very, very heightened. And because they are heightened, um, we have to be aware, and all that goes back to your body image, and what you think of yourself and how you respect yourself, um, and how you go about getting knowledge. Because nowadays, girl, back when we were, well, me before you was going through all of these changes and trying to learn, all somebody had to do was mention it to us, and we go try to do research. I mean, big old books to look at. Now you can just Google it now, and get the information you need, and there's no reason. However,
Right.
the reason to discuss it is to talk about each person's experience through
Yes.
that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because they shape us, and when you go through, because the body image is even attached to that, because as you go through the menopause, you have the hot flashes and the this and the that, and you think there's something wrong with you, and everybody around you think there's something wrong with you, but it's just those those hormones. And so we need to understand our own hormonal balance so that we can help young ladies. And now, based on the food we eat, that's why I say it's all connected. Based on the food we eat, people are going through, young ladies are going through menses earlier. They're having going through menses early. I mean, they're experiencing and getting these bodies, you know, because we're eating the stuff that's already been pumped up with all this other stuff. And it's like, we got to sit down and talk about all these things. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, how do I like the body that I'm in? You know, how do I embrace menopause? How do I embrace all of the changes and what to look forward to? Because then I'll have a foundation to move forward. And if we're going to help our young ladies understand that true modeling is in your character, not in your hair, your fingernails, your makeup, you know, and all that. And it all plays a part because we all want to look, you know, our very best. But if you don't love you, can't nobody else love you.
There you go. That's the key.
That's that. But you, like you said, you got to be taught at an early age, because nowadays kindergarten, kindergarten is really beginning to be too late with some of the things, you know, because they get information instantly, you know, so you have to start building their self-esteem early, because we're trying to prepare a lot of broken women too. You know, thus the shameless plug for my book, Silent Screams of a Woman. You know, the silent screams we bore because we don't want to talk about these things, you know?
Right.
So
and it's okay that you plug it, because it's going to help. And that's the thing, is that's the goal, is to give assistance for them to have some resource, because somebody's watching this, they don't know what to do. You know,
and then to also know that everybody, that's why I said you got to have self-awareness, because everybody goes through something different. You know, like for me, I didn't even realize until I tuned into my emotions that I was going through menopause, because I never had a cycle that was longer than 3 days, you know. And then I started doing research and all this, and it was saying that that's really normally the way it's supposed to go, you know, because when you just do, there's something going on when you go longer than 4 or 5 days, you know. So when it started skipping and going on, and then plus we had been taught so much negative about it, that when it wasn't there, who cared, you know? But that learns that, and I guess it was, I think women start going through that normally between 45 and 55. That's an average. That's an average. Yeah, 45 to 55. Going through those things.
Okay.
But embrace it.
Because I remember you used to hear people say, I'm having my own private summer. I was like, what the heck did that mean? I was like, your own private summer? I was like, I don't feel that. They're like, no, you know what? See, I had this Aunt Alice. My Aunt Alice was something special. She lived in Newark, New Jersey. I love her to pieces. She's no longer with me. She's an ancestor. She used to have a cigarette in one hand, smoking, and she'd be frying the fish with the other. She'd get up 4 o'clock in the morning. She, one of those feisty aunts that cuss you out. What you doing? Don't sit your blah 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 down. But you could come at the table and talk to her, and there was always women talking at the table and having these discussions. And I remember, I can't wait till I get older and I can sit there at the table. She had an eye. She told me I was pregnant with my son, and before I even knew it. Now, mind you, I was with my son's father, and we had did those that weekend. I'm like, I know I wasn't pregnant before. She said, you pregnant? And I said, no, I'm not. She's like, I'm telling you, you're pregnant. I said, okay, and I was, going with yourself. So a month later came, and I had to call her up. I was like, wait a minute. How did you know I was pregnant? She said,
how did she know?
she said something about my body. Your body goes through changes and your aura was different. I said, who? She said, your presence. There's just a little bit of, I'm saying because that's not what they talked about. She says a glow about you. So I said, okay, my aura changed. My aura shifted. Okay. So she said, you'll see it. Like she said, your gift is you see death before it comes. You smell death. I was like, you're right. She's like, same thing. It's just that I see birth before it's created. I said, but Anella, the thing is, I just had sex just the day before. She was like, it doesn't matter. Birth is birth. Life is life. It created. It came. I was like, all right, here, and I'm here. So it was like, okay. So that did something to me, that she had that wisdom, that insight, and that's who I look to. So I said, I can't wait till I'm 50 because I'm gonna be like my Aunt Alice. I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm going to do it. And I was like, guess what? I'll be 50 September. I mean, I'm excited. I've been waiting for this since 9 years old. Now I don't have the hot flashes. I'm not going through menopause. I mean, they said it was. I done had a check. Like, no, Sussy. So, but then again, Aunt Alice used to talk about those menopausal babies. She said, when you're going through change, and you have your own little private summer, you still got to be careful. She said, because that's how Johnny Donnie came, and that's how Stephanie came. And you're going through the change and thinking. And I said, she said, oh, you think life begins as a woman in your body? She's like, those are the things to be aware of. Be aware of your system. She said, because you're thinking of that ache, that pain, that this. Oh, Johnny is here. Oh, Sally done made it. She made her presence known. She just made it known 3 months later. Now you're walking around, and now you got little Sally. You got to go. It's like, okay. So that made me take stock of my body when I talked to her after being pregnant with my son. Really start looking and questioning what is it like, because we don't even talk about a discharge. You got some of these young men that are educated. I was in this thing called this thing in the BBC, and I put it on my Facebook because this guy had told this woman that her vagina smelled, and it smelled funny. And every woman has their own distinct smell. Now, there's a difference between being dirty, and there's a difference between being clean. But he made that girl so self-conscious that she was using what was they called? The feminine wash. She was washing it out all the time. She bought a feminine wash that you wash down there below, that she done chopped it and basically caused herself to have an infection. And
she got rid of all. She got rid of all. She got rid of all the good bacteria, huh?
Right. So the thing is, that's what we need to talk about. There's a different kind of discharge. When you're ovulating, you discharge. What it looks like, what to look for a yeast infection. Not each yeast infection is the same, and what to look for. And that's what I'm talking about. Women do not know. If it's white and if it's yellow, if it's cottage cheese looking, it's almost like, remember they had the poop ethic, what to look for poop smell. And then everybody started looking in the toilet. They went through the same
the
thing.
science. They started dealing with the science of it, which is what you're saying they're doing now with the science of the thing. And I think that's one of the things that we miss when we're studying things. We miss looking at the science behind it, because there's a science to everything. Yes, I remember those days when we were telling you that what you eliminate represents what your intake garbage in, garbage out. And it's the same way with the discharges and things you're talking about. All of that has something to say about what you put in your body.
You're absolutely right. And the things you can do to prevent
yes
that's another thing. And the thing, even after you get it, what you can do. My friend said they had this thing on, what was monostat, something. They used to have this cream they were giving everybody. They got to shove it up, shove it up, shove it up. And
I
do
remember that.
So then Now they had, and then they had vaginal suppositories back in the day, where it makes everything just smells like roses. You just stuff it up there and it's beautiful and breezy and all that lovely stuff. That's natural. The thing is that we don't understand why we secrete and what we're washing out, and that's so important. And I just really want to talk about the menopause when you're going through the lubricant and when their libido go down. And some people's libido go crazy because now it's like, oh, I can't get pregnant anymore. And they're gone home. So it's different aspects that we need to look about it and celebrate it. That's why I like the red tent, because they're in there celebrating their cycle of life and what it represents, because they don't realize the history. They used to do ceremony, the original people, when their cycle come on, when they were going to, the women that were on cycle would use that to give a protection and to send out energy to protect their tribe, their village, or whatever, so that they were protected.
Yeah, that
That's
was one of the
magic.
biggest transference of energy that I saw. I was in I'm trying to think. I was in Nigeria. I was trying to think of the name of the Owerri. I was in Owerri, and it was really interesting to me. This was years ago, to see when the baby was born. No, the lady was getting ready to go to the hospital to have the baby. And all these women come marching down this dirt road. All of them had on the same lappers, the same white blouses, and they had these tubs on their head, and they were singing, and they were going with her to the hospital, you know? And I'm there like a little reporter girl running around. Rand guy at the time, we had them little Kodak picture cameras and the videos. And I thought about what a community event that was. You know what I mean? Or what a community event that is, such that we can pass on those traditions that, and I'll use the word original, but not only original, but all our people of the diaspora, you know, that we're still connected to those rituals. We just need to be brought back to them and made aware of them, you know. Because just as you said, you got excited, you know, to be able to go into the house. You know, that's the way young girls did back in the red tent days. They would hang around the tents when they saw the older ladies. And I can remember growing up. I got to hurry too, because they're signaling me about time. I can remember growing up, and that was the same kind of thing we did in our church. The older women in the church, we had what you called BTU. And the younger women would go to BTU, Baptist Training Union. Yeah, they was training you how to be a lady. And the older women would tell the younger women certain things, you know, about how to conduct themselves. But we've kind of lost that now. I guess with progress. I guess we've lost that with progress. Because like you said, that's some of the things that we discussed and they become sessions in Women of the Red Tent, when we discuss, you know, body hygiene during your menses, you know, the different types, everything that you said, those are discussion topics in Women of the Red Tent. And I think most all women groups, you know, are doing that now, because there's a wind blowing in this world. And the world is needing that feminine energy, and that feminine energy is on the rise. And so sisters all over are reconnecting and talking about the things that we used to wouldn't talk about, you know, and getting rid of all that repressed pain. And getting rid of that repressed pain is causing us to come together and share our knowledge with one another for the benefit of ourselves, our families, our communities, and the world. Because, you know, hey, we are our sister's keeper. But
all right now,
we got to go through that radical self-care so that we can openly and safely talk about those things that you mentioned, you know. So I'm going to stay tuned, because like I said, they're signaling me about 5 more minutes. I'm going to go to another meeting. But I hate that I can't stay on to hear the rest of your other guests about what they say about menopause. And I was really looking forward to seeing your mom.
Yeah, well, like I said, as she would say, the people are supposed to be here are here and present.
Here, that's right.
Even if nobody show up and it's just me, I'm still.
That's supposed to be. That's what we're supposed to do. Especially when that all of that comes to awareness. All of that comes to awareness. Because if we stay in the present moment, we'll get through all of this. But most of the time we're either thinking about something that has happened or something that's gonna happen.
All right.
And we miss the moment. So if you roll with the moment, it'd be like you say, just whatever the moment gives me, I'm going to appreciate it, I'm going to love it, and I'm going to learn from it.
Hello, it's an experience. I like my experience. I learned that. That's what I learned this month. If I say that I'm love, am I really love, or am I love with conditions? No, you got 4 minutes or 3 minutes. So that's what I learned this weekend. If I want love, I gotta be love. And I said, well, I used to say, I'm love, I'm love, I'm love. But really, am I love with conditions and hooks and strings and stuff? Or is it love, or am I loving unconditional? Do I want that kind of love? So if I don't want that kind of love, then I need to be that love that I want to receive.
But along with that, we really have to be careful, because a lot of people misunderstand unconditional love. You know what I mean? They misunderstand the concept behind that. And when I had the aha moment for myself, because I kept trying to put that in some kind of context, and I realized that I can love you unconditionally. But in order to get my unconditional love, you have to be in a conditional relationship with me. My love is unconditional, but relationship with me is not. And that's a whole nother show.
Right. We'll get there. We're getting there.
I can love unconditionally. But to get that unconditional love, we have to be in a relationship that's conditional. Our relationship is conditional. And we don't think about that part of it. It's like I saw a friend read, I saw a friend had posted one day, we often are told or read to forgive our enemies, but nowhere do we read or are we told to forgive our friends. Think about it. I said, wow.
Yeah, you're supposed to. As well as forgive, we're not told, but you need to forgive yourself.
Oh, now that's the first. Let's say laughing proverb, a bitter heart eats up its owner. Well, girl, I thank you so much for having me on your show. It was really good. I gotta make a run. Gotta get out of here. I have certainly enjoyed it. I see that it is recorded on YouTube, so I can go back and catch the rest of the segment, right?
Yes, you can, and I'll even send you the link. So, like I said, you can actually hear it on Spotify.
Okay.
That's the beautiful thing about it.
Have a great day.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right. I gotta figure out. Leave the studio. Okay. This is a new platform for me.
Okay, everybody. We were staying tuned. I don't know. I said if you want to call, the number at the bottom is 818-570-0334. Really there, and we are going to go into our exercise segment, but I wanted to make a meditation before we go into there. I have things that we can do. So if you're in a chair, sit with your back up. In the chair, loosen your arms, your legs, and really relax. And Amapatya Namaha is opening and bringing in that energy that you would like for the energy to flow. So the things that maybe you want to in your life, whether it's love, whether it's money, this is what you can actually focus on by saying this mantra. And it's a beautiful one. I recorded it. I'm trying to make sure that I have it on my recorder still. I think it's Shanti. So I record. I say a lot of different things. So let's see. So let me see if that's one. Okay. Let's play this one. Let me put this one and then see. Okay. I was playing, but welcome to Alchemy Network. Alchemy Network. Dr. D. Or read. Be interactive with us. A variety of stuff. Orange, coffee, Dr. D. That was my little commercial, so it was not that one. So what we're going to do Shanti. Here we go. I hope you can hear it. Take a deep breath. Let it out. And deep breath in. Let it out. Deep breath in. Let it out. I'm hoping that y'all feeling better. That's my personal recording, so there is no need for copyright. So, you know, when you use other people's music, I learned in videos, you want to give them honor and homage for them using their music or video, which we're about to go into. And this is Falun Gong or Falun Dafa. They're exercise for like 15 minutes that I want to show you so that you can go through it. And like I said, doing these exercises, what happens is that you open up, okay? You will open up and you start to see and feel the energy actually disperse. And they talk about the energy from your crown all the way down through your body and circling around all this energy. So as you feel it, and the instructions you usually do them 9 times, but because he's doing them there 3 times and it's only for 15 minutes. But this can take you from the exercise doing it as long with the meditation can take you to 120 minutes, 2 hours to actually do this exercises. So, and the meditation is part of it. So you're opening up, like I said, from the inside and out and connected to a higher source and also to the earth and connected in vibration. So let's begin. Share screen. So have it playing. I don't mute me. I have it. We're going to kitchen segment. As you can see, we're going to start our desserts. So I guess I should do a commercial real quick, which I will do. So going to do the commercial, and you'll see I will be in the kitchen, and we're going to start with our parfaits. So we'll come right after the commercial. This is my commercial for me, Dr. D, and all the stuff that I do and all the services that I provide. And one more. Hello, everyone. Okay, let you know. This is Food Alchemy Network. I am the CEO, Dr. D, and you are listening and tuning in to Dr. D's Spiritual Connections Women's Circle, the Door of Many Colors. And we are here each Sunday. Like I said, we're trying to figure a slot that is the best time. If you guys figure out and let us know what you think a good time would be for a slot, because I'm trying to acknowledge my East Coast people, my Central Coast people, as well as I'm being a Pacific time, and also my Hawaiian people, from Hawaii in that time frame. So with that in mind, give me a vote and let me know, what you think would be a good time, because I know for us it is early in the morning. So for you guys that don't know, on Monday we have Coffee with Ori. That is basically 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Thursdays, Angelic Whispers with Dr. Ron Revan Bates. He does a talk of getting with the angels, understanding the angels, your guardians, and all those around you. And he also does many free readings that you can call the number on Thursday and get a free reading and understanding. If you would like to see some samples of his work and what was going on, go back to the archives and look him up, what he did and how we do it, phone calls. So we do all kinds of things. Ori does spiritual education and meditating and helping you come in alignment with yourself. So he talks about anything and everything, and not, like I said, as you've seen as the advertisement, no subject is taboo when it comes with Coffee with Ori. So without further ado, we're going to go to the kitchen, and I have to go there. So I am going to give myself 30 seconds in countdown. So that's what we're Hello, everybody. I am in the kitchen. Okay, so this is what I have. Want you to know what I have right now. This is my vegan recipe. This is aquafaba. Okay, let me see the camera. There you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here. I also going to put a pinch of salt in here. Also going to put some cream of tartar. And also going to put in, I use coconut sugar because it has a low glycemic index to it. So that means that your sugar does not just crash and burn. It doesn't rise fast. It slows down, and it's good for people that have diabetes or sugar, sugar. That's what they used to call it back in the day. I got sugars. It's so cute. Okay, so what I'm going to do, put this in here as sweet as I want it. So also going to put in some vanilla extract, or if you have vanilla beans, you can do that too. So we do that. And what I will do, I'm going to take it over to my KitchenAid, and it takes 15 minutes. So while that's going on over there, we are also going to go and do the other version of egg whites. And that one, I have to actually get the frozen strawberries out of the freezer because they had to be frozen when we do this. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and put it on my stand. And it is going to whisk. And you want to put it on for 15 minutes on high. So blend it slowly. So while that's going in under that, I'm going to see if, hold on. Okay, while that's going on. So I like to clean up as I go. So, like I said, I got to get the strawberries. And I got to chunk it up. See, strawberries. So you can see it. So believe it. So it's going to be a little bit noisy. So what I'm going to do is mute it, but you can actually see what I'm doing. My goal is what? Now what I'm going to do, this came, recipe came from a friend of mine in the North Valley. Here, have this recipe, strawberries. So we're going to try to do it here. So, no, it looks so. So I'm not going to. All right, I'm going to the right way. And I thank her for, helping me out with ideas to come up with to actually share. And this is a parfait. So one is a medium parfait, and you'll see it in the box. And this one is an egg white. And then it goes to a plate. So I put that one really good. We put egg white. I don't have to put it on. Side. And put the egg whites in here. And you can see that the egg whites. Okay, egg whites I put in here, and what I am going to do is put the strawberries that I have in the frozen strawberries that I just chopped. And you just put it in here, and then we're going to stir it. And you're going to watch it whip. Now, it's got to be a little bit loud too. I'm going to start off slow. And then build up the Now what you want to do is to actually roll down Now, if you want, you can also use maple syrup, stevia, whatever you want for your sweetness. I have some chocolate syrup. You can use a diet. Now, let me tell you, the colors will be different. The outside is just chickpeas, or use upper flour from pinto beans or maple beans. Like kind of steady, and then come out double inside like that. Want it to keep going until it's like at 12. Now, this is real good. So I want to show you what it became, what it looked like. The aquafaba takes a little bit longer. So what I do is I have this jar. I'm going to take some strawberries. Okay. So take some strawberries and put them at the bottom of the jar. Bottom of the jar. So when I want to eat it, okay, and I'm going to take look, see that? Look at that. That's one. And this can make up to 2 to 3 batches, which is not bad. I'm going to show you the apple up what it looks like now. You see that? That's what it did. It value just increased dramatically. So what I do with this, I can take this in another container and put this and have it. And it can be sweet as you want. Like I said, you can use maple syrup, velvet, sugar, coconut sugar, yacon, and all that stuff. It all depends on how sweet you want it. So this is just plain. And let me show you one that I did with strawberries. Strawberries and cranberries are beautiful ice. See, that is the vegan version. Strawberries are like that. So what else I wanted to do was actually make a basically cheese pudding. And I thought, why the heck not? I have all these little pretty jars and stuff. And this is very simple that you can do when you're in a hurry in the morning. And you just gotta go. So I'm gonna reverse this. I think what I'll do is put it in here. Okay, about 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. And mind you, chia seeds do swell up and it makes you full and has a lot of antioxidants. These are one of can help you with menopausal hormone balance and give you nutrition while you're going through the changes. So, and put some, like I said, coconut sugar if you want. A little bit of salt. You can put some vanilla extract, or vanilla powder. It can be anything you want, but I want this to be strawberry and banana. And then you have some almond milk, coconut milk, oat milk, rice milk, any kind you want to put in there. And you just basically stir it around. Now, mind you, like I said, as it sits, it's going to swell up. So, like I said, I like strawberries, you can see. I love strawberries. I love cranberries. I love blueberries. So, as it's swelling up, guess what? Look at this. Dun, 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 dun. It's going to be beautiful. So, this is what you can do. Flavor, or you could actually puree the banana and put it in there, or you can use water, whatever your preference is for the liquid. And one day I will show you how to make oats for overnight. So we're going to put these in the refrigerator. But I think what I want to do is I can put this. And what I am going to do for this is that. And thank you, Miss Sherry, for this recipe, sharing it with me. So I'm going to put these in the refrigerator. So my ladies, hello. That is it for the recipe segment. And I'll be going over to the main studio. I'm coming back. I am on my way. Oh, shit. Okay. Hello, y'all. I'm back. So I would like to see your comments in below what you think about it. You thought about the recipes that I gave and the things that we did. We did the mousse, the vegan mousse parfait. We also did the regular parfait with frozen, which I think is so cool. And then we also did the chia seeds recipe pudding. So like I said, you can use coconut milk, almond milk, rice milk, oat milk, whatever milk you want to use, you can use. And even seeing people use water. The sweeteners, you got Yukon, lucuma, stevia, swerve. They have this swerve thing, monk fruit, molasses. I mean, you could actually make a chia seed pudding that like tastes like a ginger snap by adding different spices to it and taking it to another level. So I think that is pretty cool. I believe my mom is in the room. I am not sure. I don't want to add her to stream until she's there. So let me find out. Find out if she's there. She said she was doing something, but I don't see her on the screen, and I don't want to just put her back. Mama, are you there? I mean, sometimes people disappear on me. Okay. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. What I can do is pay a commercial while we do this. Okay, so okay, we are just sitting here waiting. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, there is a number that you can call 818-570-0342. Now, I wanted to, like I was telling you about the chia seeds, I wanted to help you understand different about your hormones going on. And we were talking about the libido of your body when you're going through menopause. Like I said, some people's drive go up when they're going through menopause. Their libido goes up and they're very active, and they just have a high sex drive. And then some people's libido goes straight down where their libido is low, and they really don't. So again, it plays with the hormones, how much estrogen and progesterone that you're getting in your body. That is something to be worked on. And a lot of people we were given estrogen pills for some women, but it didn't do well with a lot of people's body. And then they came with an estrogen cream. Just like some men, they lose progesterone. So some of them men actually have been getting progesterone cream, and what they don't realize is cream excretes off your body and to another person. So whether you're intimate or not, you're kissing them, it gets in their body and it affects their body chemicals as well. So you want to be careful with those different types of cream, so you can actually balance your hormones with some different things like maca powder, different maca powder. There's a black maca, there's a yellow maca, there's a red maca. They come from Peru and they help your hormones. So that's another thing. You got what they call wild yam. Wild yam is good for balancing your hormones when you're going through this change. I believe my mother used to take what was it? Trying to think. These little pills. I know it was alfalfa tonic, which they don't even make that anymore. Alfalfa tonic, but she used to take these also, what they used to call pearls, and then also what helps you is primrose. These are just some of the things. Now, let me say, even though I'm making these suggestions out here, I am not a licensed medical doctor. I'm a doctor in metaphysics and parapsychology in that field. So if you want any suggestions, I suggest you go to a traditional Chinese medicine person. I can give you suggestions, but I cannot prescribe or tell you. I can just make suggestions legally. So you can also see an internalist that'll work with you, which I happen to like, versus a regular doctor or a GP, a general practitioner. You can also see a naturopath, and they do herbs and other things that are natural and are being balanced in accordance with your body to help your hormones. And also you got to realize with your hormones, your emotionals and your mood change and swings as well as your body change. So you might be moody, you might be upset, just like when some people have post-traumatic syndrome. Everything is different for everybody. Some people's body is sensitive, some people's body is not, some people's body go through changes. And also when you're going through this, you have a tendency for women to gain weight, and it's harder because they're going through menopause to actually lose the weight because they're in menopause. So don't be hard on yourself when you're going through these changes, and understanding, get your blood work, understand, work with your doctor, work with your naturopath, work with your traditional Chinese medicine person, whoever you have in your life that's helping you balance what you need. Reiki master, These are people or treatments that you can use to actually balance your body. Reiki helps, Muna Aiki helps, massage, acupressure helps, acupuncture definitely helps, herbs helps, essential oils help, Bach flower helps. These are different things. Crystal laying. These are some of the things that I do. These are actually help the body get into balance. Drinking the correct amount of water, basically hydrating and trading those sugary drinks to more of a water drink, trading those caffeinated drinks to maybe some chamomile, some hibiscus tea, some ginger tea, the ginger tea to cool the body, to purify the blood. These are just some of the things that you can do to help your body get relaxed, help your body get in function, help your body come into its own, because you go through your changes. You know, I was talking to my mom, who is about to get on camera, I think. I don't know if she's ready. You got to put the, are you ready? Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Hey, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Without further ado, you guys, mama. Well, this is my mom. So, hey, mama.
Hello there. We got the cooking segment. There you go. Hi, listen, guys, I have to tell you, and I did tell this to my wonderful daughter. I told her, I said, let me tell you what my Sunday regime usually is. I'm in bed all day. Sunday is, for me, is a day where you don't do anything. I babysit during the week with my 9-month-old granddaughter. I also teach virtually with LA Unified School District. Don't tell them I'm double dipping there. And then, you know, everything else that you do during the week. And I'm a firm believer that Sunday is my day. I am so blessed. I will have been married 34 years. It's coming up on 34 years, September 5th. And my husband makes breakfast on Sundays. Okay. I get served breakfast in bed on Sundays. That's just the reality of my life. Thank you, God. So, which means I'm turning off my phone so that it doesn't bing and bang while I'm talking. Which means I don't usually do anything on Sunday. So I actually woke up at 6:30 this morning, something I don't do on a Sunday, but I went back to sleep. The next thing you know, it's 8:43. I got to make the green drink. Which is a lot of noise. So while you were doing your cooking segment, I was watching you do your cooking segment while I was doing my green drink. It takes me anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour because I take my time. And my green drink consists of, and I use these ingredients because I have arthritis in both my hips, diagnosed since 15. I'm a professional dancer, or was more of a choreographer now than I ever was because the old hips won't let me move as much. But I do celery, beet, and carrot juice, mint, and spinach for my leaf. And my seasoning is turmeric and cayenne. I put no apples and none of that BS. I don't believe in putting sweets with my greens. I'm a cow. I like to taste my greenery. Okay. And it's noisy because you have to use the NutriBullet and you have to use the blender. You know. So that's why I didn't come live. And also, I'm not going to lie. I'm still in my jammies. I sleep in t-shirts. And this is a Race for the Cure t-shirt that I got from the Susan, you can see it right there, Susan something. I don't believe in her politics, but I believe in the race. Okay. I'm just being honest, you know, and it's I always get the extra large t-shirts when I participate in these events. So they become jammies, you know.
I get you.
The days of lace and prettiness and all that's over. And as soon as it starts getting a little hotter, we talking buck naked. I like to in the raw. I only wear these things because my husband said, put the clothes on. I heard you talking about menopause. Did you want some insight about menopause?
Yes, we did. We had a young lady earlier Sister Fabu. She left us. She's like, she wanted to meet you. So now you just say hi to Sister Fabu. She,
Hello, Sister Babu. How you doing?
So yeah, I was talking about it because I told him I haven't gotten there yet. I'm not there. But, and I was giving them some things about their hormones because that's very important about the hormones and the estrogen. So how your libido changed. So I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did your libido change? Did it speed up? Did it make you like a drive go through the roof?
Well,
or did it slow down?
I gotta tell you, I was a little sex pot when I was younger. So my libido these days is probably what is normal for most people, because I was out the rafters, if you will. No, but one of the things that most people don't talk about when they talk about menopause, regards to the libido. I mean, if you got a good dildo and you are comfortable touching yourself, you'll have no problems. I'm just being honest and real with you. But what I think a lot of people don't take into consideration when they talk about menopause is you becoming aware of how you are affecting others. You know what I'm saying? What I ended up doing, and I had to because I was driving my family crazy. I went through menopause early. I started perimenopause at 36. I bled for 2 weeks, 14 days straight. And my normal cycle at that time and any time thereafter is like 3 days, start to finish. What I use in 3 days, most women use in 1 day, or they use maybe twice what because I was athletic. I was a professional dancer. I was active. When you're active and whatever, it kind of curtails the natural flow thing. Okay. Right. That's just the what do you call it? The balance, you gonna be active, it's gonna go down. So I bled for about 2 weeks, thought I was dying, whatever, went to the doctors. They do all the tests and everything. You're in perimenopause. Welcome to get it ready for the change, So what I ended up having to do is I ended up having to give cue words or sayings that my kids, at that time, teenagers, so I'm in menopause, they're in teenagehood, and we're doing like this. So I had to give my family cue words and phrases that they could use to say, Mom, chill out, or Mom, are you PMSing, or Mom, is that the menopause? But I can't even remember what it was that I told them they could say, because when you have menopause, you're on nerve. Things upset you that didn't upset you before. It's just an interesting state of mind. So you have to take the state of mind and the spirit of heart and understanding. You've got to know what you're going through. And you have to be willing to take the higher road. You've got to be willing to say, you know what? I think this is my fault. There's something that I'm not in control of, you see. And that's what I had to do. I had to take, because my daughters were teenagers while I had my first child at 30. So I started late. I had 2 kids, 30 and 32. So technically I was late. My girlfriends, don't you want your kids to grow up with you? No, my kids want somebody grown. Okay. They don't, besides I was touring. I had my dance companies. I was doing my thing. Alrighty. So, and I didn't want to have babies before I got married. So I made sure that didn't happen. But, so when I was going through menopause, knee deep in it, hot, we're talking the sweats, the hot flashes, like I said, the anger issue, or popping off at the stupidest things, I come home from work and instead of, hey girls, how you doing? How come the room isn't clean? How come the kitchen isn't, instead of, hey girls, in fact, it got to the point where my daughter Elizabeth, my eldest, she says, gee, Mom, when you come home, we know we got things to do, but the least you could do is say, hi, how you doing? Did you have a good day at school? And see, I allowed my kids to talk to me, not talk back, not be smart, but to have conversation with me so that they felt comfortable enough to say, Mom, you need to pull it back a little bit. And my husband, he said, now I got blessed with my husband, Gregory. He's a godsend, because he didn't threaten to divorce me. He didn't threaten to, no fighting, no arguing or whatever. It's just, he'd shake his head and he'd leave the room. And sometimes that's worse than getting yelled at, because you realize, oh my God, I've hurt somebody, or I've made somebody, feel like they don't want to be around me. And whoa, that was an eye opener. So, with regards to the libido thing, when I was going through it, yeah, it wasn't something that was on my radar. I was dealing with life and dealing with the change and dealing hot flat, so no, I really wasn't interested in sex. Okay. But after the fact, when the rollout comes in, hey, if you have to, like I said, you get you a nice size dildo, one that fits you, makes you happy, become comfortable with touching yourself. Because that's one thing I wasn't. I did not start masturbating or becoming comfortable with touching myself until I was, oh my gosh, I'm 63 now, maybe 15 years ago at the most, because I thought that if I had to touch myself or to take care of, make myself happy physically, that there was something wrong with me, that I wasn't appealing to my husband, okay, or my man, and that it was my fault and there was something wrong with me, No. Masturbation, touching yourself, manipulating yourself, feeling good about yourself is an okay thing. It's all right.
Right. So my other question is, your changes of your body that you're going through menopause. That means your breasts sometimes are not as hanging to the sky and saying hello. Now they're going, okay, now they go with you. So how did you handle that, going through that with the change and the body change?
For me, I'm still dealing with that, because in my mind, even when I've lost weight, I look in the mirror and I still see that big person. And that's my issue. My self-image is of me being overweight, which I am right now in my estimation. With regards to the girls, the way I say it is they don't say good morning anymore. They used to say good afternoon. Now they say good night. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's a natural part of it. Now, if I wanted to change, I know how to lift weights. I know how to do the exercises. I know what I'm supposed to do to get them to perk up. I could wear a sports bra. Heavens, I could actually get a bra. I don't even own one already. So it comes down to, you have to, there's a line where you have to decide, I'm good. I'm comfortable. I like what I see. I like how I feel. If I'm not happy about it, I know what to do to take care of it. I recently, before the COVID, okay, now I didn't get COVID-19. I got COVID-25. I gained 25 sitting in this gosh darn chair, teaching every day to a computer. When you're in the classroom, do you know how much you walk around up and down the aisles and whatever, getting up in your seat, getting down, going out to the hallway, going down. I was teaching at Obama Middle School, special education, and they put the special education classes on the 3rd floor. I had an elevator key. It worked when I could get the security, when the security door was open, then you could use the elevator. But if I didn't have the security, and I know they didn't give anybody the security, you have to call for security to come up and open the security door so I can use the elevator. I said, what the heck? I just went up and down the stairs, up and down 3 flights of stairs, Monday through Friday. You tell me, I was banging again. Everybody, woo, you looking good, girl, okay? So I know what I need to do. You have to decide, do you want to do it? So I don't bitch about, I can't curse on TV. Okay. I don't bitch about, my weight anymore in terms of woe is me and woe and all. No, I mention it. I talk about it because it's a reality. Everybody else see what I see. Okay. And according to my doctor, it has affected my arthritis more. I was diagnosed with arthritis at 15. It actually began manifesting at 12, but definitely kicked in at 15. They wanted to do surgery, cortisone shots, all that kind of stuff. You'll never be able to dance. You're going to have problems walking. You might have to have a cane, wheelchair, and all that. I went on to get a degree in dance, toured, traveled the world, doing my thing, you know, have my own dance company. So don't let anybody tell you what you can or cannot do. It's about what you want to do and how bad you want to do it, you know, and what you're willing to deal with while going through the process. I call it acknowledge, accept, move through, and get ready for more life. Okay. But yeah, that's that with regards to my body image. Yeah, I am overweight, and the doctor says that the excess upper body weight is weighing heavily on my hips, and I actually told my husband Gregory that after this holiday, because tomorrow we're having a family picnic kind of thing. That's what I was asking you. What are you doing tomorrow, Ceci? You know, but you told me you broke your toes, so you may not want to be traveling. But after tomorrow, because tomorrow I plan on eating my Bubba burgers. That's my plant burgers, and I plan on eating my knockwurst, which is plant-based knockwurst. I'm a vegetarian, almost vegan now. I still eat eggs. And I still, I eat vegan cheese now. So I'm still eating eggs. But other than that, I'm vegetarian. But after tomorrow, because I don't want to go into the summer like this. I plan on going to the beach a lot. I'll put my bathing suit on. And I want to be happy with my own self-image. So I guess my advice or answer to the question is this. It comes down to you must be happy and comfortable with your own self-image. Matter not what other people think about you. Now, I'm considered healthy. I take no drugs. Oh, vitamin B12, vitamin BD with calcium. Let's see, MSM, chondroitin, glucosamine, all those things for the arthritis that are natural based, plant based. But other than that, I have no blood sugar, high blood sugar. I have no hypertension. I have no real physical issues. My sister, I don't know if you remember Auntie Janice. She's taking 13 pills. Heart, blood, sugar, this, that, and the other. So I consider myself blessed. If being overweight is all I have to worry about, or to not even worry about, all I have to think about or focus on, I got that. And so my advice to your listeners and to your viewers is that's where you have to get. You have to get to the point where you decide, I got this, and be good with it. You, as I said, you can't beat yourself up. I realize I'm in the dark. There we go. Here's some light. There we go. You didn't tell me.
The light's going back and forth.
Yeah, because I was in the dark. Okay, let me plug this in. I have my brother from another mother. You met him, Cullen. He brought me this wonderful, because he insists that I get into the podcast thing again, like I used to do. And yeah. So I decided, oh well, what the heck? There we go. Oh, there we go. Let me get a little brighter on that side. There we go. So I feel like I can see myself. I feel like I've been outside. Can you tell I've got a little tan?
A little tan. So I want to talk to you about, you were saying, we were talking about this, about the changes that you wish you were told when you're going through the change, that about even going to the bathroom is different.
Girl. When I started going through menopause, I found out that I better not wait till the last minute. In fact, for me, menopause wasn't so, I just wanted to show you. I've got the Tufife. We took a road trip recently, Ceci and I, and she turned me on to Tofife. Anyway, no, for me, it's the after menopause that's been the issue, Ceci, to be honest. Okay. Yeah. One would not want to be proud to say this, but for my birthday this year, March 21st, my sister Janice gave me 3 things. She gave me a bedside potty chair, a package of diapers, and some those blue things, those chaps that you put on the bed. Okay. Because I wasn't making it in time. I get up because of the hip issue, and I couldn't maneuver and get, and then I'd be pissed off and embarrassed for myself, with myself. Right. Okay. So, yeah. for me, it in terms of going to the bathroom, it really wasn't an issue. And I didn't miss not having a period, because remember, I was only flowing. In fact, I didn't flow the full 3 days for my regular, when I was having a cycle. I flowed the first day, spot a little the second day, maybe a little flow. And then the third day was the sloughing off what was left over, the sloughing off, coming out. And I think any woman out there would understand what I'm saying. So I didn't miss that at all. In fact, I was like, yay. And then somewhere closer to the last part of my menopause, I thought, oh my God, because menopause don't happen overnight, y'all. Mine lasted maybe almost, started about 50. Yeah, mine lasted about 7 or 8 years. It lasted a long time.
Wow.
Well, actually, not long, because I started at 36 with perimenopause. So I count all of that. So from 36 till about 50. How old am I? 3? Yeah. So from 36 to about 50. How many years is that? My brain's not functioning right now. It's too early for me. Okay. But that's, 36 to 46 is 10 years, 50. Okay. For about 14, 15 years, my menopause lasted. And near the end, in the last 4 or 5 years, not every month, but every 2 or 3 months, maybe every quarter, if you will, I would spot. And I would, oh no, it's coming back, And I never had pain. I never had cramps. In high school, I was hated because, like I said, 3 days, beginning to end, done. My girlfriends would miss school. My younger sister Carla, she would miss the first couple of days of her cycle. She wouldn't go to school because of cramps. And she'd be crying and moaning, and my mother would give her the medication and put the hot heating pad on her stomach. The whole 9 yards. Leave her alone. Give her space. All of that. I never had to deal with any of that. But menopause, I got my payback. That nature got the payback with menopause because, it did. You can already see that I'm a highly, nervous is a negative word, but I'm a highly energetic. I'm like this, and I was diagnosed with ADHD. It just means a lot of energy, and you pay attention to everything. Once you learn to focus on one event at a time, you'll be fine. No medication needed. But I got hit really hard with the mental part of menopause, because you have to deal with the fact, one, you're not going to be you're not having any more babies. Not that I wanted any, but just the idea as a woman knowing that your baby making machine was shutting down. Because that's really what it is. Your ability to bear children it's coming to an end. That's nature's call. Okay, it happens at different times for different people, and so that's a psychological issue. I know we're talking about the physical aspect of menopause, but there's a psychological aspect to menopause. The fact that, hell, I'm getting older, and now you're thinking of mortality. Oh shit! Oh, excuse me. I forget. I apologize.
It's okay.
You start thinking, I could die. You start looking at the other side of the hill, if you will. And then by the time I was 50, 55, like I said, it's coming to an end or whatever. And now all my girlfriends or my acquaintances are starting to die or starting to, go downhill. And I believe a great deal of it has to do with them taking outside medications. I like what you're doing, Chef Ceci, because you're trying to show people a way to handle their change and to handle their new style of living, their new life with natural things, naturopathic things. I drink green drink every day. I only started taking the vitamin D with calcium recently in the last maybe 2 months, because I realized you're inside 9 out of 10. You're inside because of the teaching and the taking care of the baby and everything. And I have a sun allergy. I burn 5 to 7 minutes and I get the little prickly bumps that you get. And then it's the, don't touch my skin. my skin burns. It feels like I'm being cooked from the inside out. Okay. Right. So that's since I was a kid. That I've been dealing with that since I was a kid. That manifested, I think I was about 6 years old when they first started taking me to the hospital for it, emergency, because my parents initially didn't understand what was going on. And then when they figured out, oh, she's allergic to overexposure to the sun. Duh. You know, once they got that kicking, calamine lotion, cocoa butter, Nivea. My father invested in Nivea, you know, because of its ability to help protect me. I don't use sunscreen because I think it's icky, you know. But yeah, that for me, the main issue with menopause when I was knee deep in it was the mental aspects of it. Yeah. And you're right. Even with the light on, I'm still changing colors. Let me see.
That's the energy. That's just energy.
Well, that too.
Well, what I want to say is that people, for their mind, when they're going through this, some people can accept it because some reason I want to talk about it because we don't. Like I said, I had an Aunt Alice, and I said earlier, that talked about everything, about the body change. Like me and you were talking about, you know, you used to be able to pee straight. Now you pee, it goes to the back or to the front and hit the toilet and all around. So these are things
that's happening now. Your Auntie Janice and I were talking about this just a couple of weeks ago, where what happened when the stream used to go straight down? Now it's almost like the spigot has a clog, and instead of going straight out, it's just like that. And most people don't know you have more than one hole down there, y'all. You have the big hole that takes care of babies and takes input, okay? But then your where you urinate from is actually just below the tip of the of your clit. And yeah, it's almost like it's clogged sometimes because it doesn't go straight out. It does spray air, you know. And my husband's like, "You're gonna clean that toilet? You're gonna clean the toilet seat?"
So what I was saying to some, like the Kegel exercises does help, but also not only that, but also maybe sometimes even the jade egg helps. That helps as well. But it also helps your womb, and that, if you know how to do that, the yoni egg, or I call it the jade egg. I'm not gonna call it somebody else's trademark name. The yoni egg. But that does help, but also keeping your bottom half really exercising and moving that hip going, you know, that motion of in, out, in, out. And actually, really what I learned is to really completely empty your bladder. It's very important because some of us don't realize we're not completely emptying our bladder. And I learned that from my daughter, Lacey, when she was a kid, because she had end-stage renal failure, and there was did a test, she was not completely emptying her bladder. So I used to make her sit on the toilet until she would go again. And she says, "How did you know?" I feel, sometimes gravity would help, but also talking to her and how you actually sit makes a difference, because some of us just get on the toilet, but we don't really sit down, get down and have our legs down. But also the thing is, there is a stoop that you can put around your toilet.
I have one
that supports your legs and your feet, so you're not putting a strain on your body, so you're not getting hemorrhoids. Because people don't realize when you're straining, you're causing your anus to open up even wider, and you're straining. And when you're straining, the veins are like, "Oh man, here we go again." But when you're in that position and you're in lines, your body is relaxed, and the flow from the fecal can actually go through, because people don't realize what their colon really looks like. And when you start understanding logistics of your body, all of these play a part. How you urinate. And I suggest that women go to the bathroom every 2 hours if you feel your body changing, if you're going to be incontinent. Go to the bathroom every 2 hours. and make sure you're drinking water. And if you know that you have a problem, stop drinking water at maybe 7 or 8 at night before you go to bed.
I drink water. I am a water drinker. That is my favorite drink. So your advice is good about not drinking after a certain time. But girl, here's what I do. I get up in the middle of the night. I use the bathroom. I lay down, and before I go back to sleep, I replenish what I just let go. Because in my mind, I don't want to dehydrate. And you see this? Mm-hmm. This is no makeup. This is no medication. No, I don't have a regimen where I do my face every night and all that crap. I drink water. That's what keeps me flowing. And do you know what you were describing earlier? With, I call it my crap stool. I have to remember I'm on live. But anyway, what you're doing is you're replicating the squatting position. Humans weren't meant to sit on a toilet. Humans were meant to squat somewhere behind a bush or into a hole that they dig in the ground. Okay. Right. And in the squatting position, because what that does, it puts your colon in the right position to excavate everything that's coming out of the intestines and everything. Okay. Right. And the same thing for the urinary tract as well. You know, when you have that stool that you stand on, as I said, I have one. My daughter got that for my birthday or Christmas or something. Hey, I asked for gifts that I know I'm gonna use. Okay, I said, "What you want, Mom? I want that." Okay, that's really my reality. Anyway, but what it does is having the stool helps that the flow to go easier. And everybody, if you didn't hear anything that Chef Ceci said or Dr. D said a few minutes ago, hear this. She was right about this. Once you urinate, stay put. I guarantee you, 10, 15 seconds later, because you're still on the toilet, your brain, there's a psychological thing. Everything's it's physical, emotional, spiritual, and psychological. It connects. Right. Sitting on the toilet, like your mama said, I don't have to go. Go sit down. Even if you don't, you will. And that's what happens. So if you do go to the bathroom, stay a little longer. My husband said, "You okay in there?" "Yep, I'm good," because I'm waiting for the next flow. Okay. Right. Or sometimes he tells me to write my weight on the wall so he knows how much to dig out. I'm just saying. But no, with regards to urinating, Dr. D is so correct about that. Stay put. Give yourself a couple of extra seconds. I say 10, 15 seconds, and 9 times out of 10, your bladder is going to go tiki, 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 and it's going to be like you never went to the bathroom, because sometimes you don't realize how much you still have inside of you. And because I call them pretty panties. My husband says undergarments. They my diapers. I'm going to just be honest and real with you, okay? I figure we need to be able to be, and that's another thing. You have to be able to speak honestly about what you're going through. And that way there's no wooby-jooby, connotations about, oh, don't talk about that. It's nature, okay? But what I have found is sometimes I'm driving or whatever, and I let it little go, I urinate. But when I get home, I sit on the toilet and I go again like I never went before. And I realized I was full and didn't realize it, didn't know that my bladder was that full. And when you do Kegels, and you're right, Dr. D, doing Kegels helps you to maintain a lot. If I didn't do my Kegels, I'd really be losing it. I'd really have real bad incontinence, okay? Because the Kegels help strengthen those muscles. And there are anal Kegels as well as vaginal Kegels, ladies. Let me tell you. Alrighty, some people, when they think of Kegels, they think birthing and the feminine area, the vaginal Kegels. But you do your anal Kegels as well. Okay, so that you can have control over that area, So Dr. D is on it, folks. If you're taking notes, you're doing a good job, because she's really on it with what she's talking about today.
Thank you. So I wanted also to tell them about their healthy urinary tract. Like my friend told me, when he actually drinks cranberry juice, he actually gets a urinary infection.
Wow.
So to me, I was like, wow, okay. But I know as a little girl, my mom used to get the ocean spray cranberry juice, Used to love that, right? That's not kid stuff. Kids don't get the cranberry juice. They get the Hawaiian punch or whatever they had back in the day when I was a kid. But I was not, I used to love the cranberry juice. So my mom decided to fix us one day between me and my brother. She put Epsom salt in it. You know what Epsom salt does, right?
My father's thing was prunes and prune juice.
Right. Well, I love prune juice. Now, matter of fact, that helped me because when I had that surgery, they put me on Dermatol, some that shot medicine, and it flooded my blood pressure, but it also made me sick. And the guy was like, well, then he gave me Dermatol and Toradol. They were giving me all this medication. He said, your body, and my blood pressure was like off the roof. And then another doctor came in, Dr. K, or I think Dr. K, I can't remember his name, came in. I said, what's going on? Hold on for 1 second. I'm sorry, I forgot. I changed stuff around. I have to think now. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
K. Yes. You were talking about Dr. K. And they gave you something.
Yeah, when I did the surgery. And I had all these allergies. And he said, if you were at home, what would you do? I said, if I have a headache, I'll take frankincense and myrrh and lavender, and I make my own roll. He said, okay. I said, if I'm like really stressed, I have some chamomile tea. Now, mind you, I don't go anywhere without my bag. Why you sitting there laughing? So I have my hibiscus, and hawthorn is good for blood pressure. And I call what I call an emergency kit of different herbs that are basically used for your body. And I keep it. I tell people, always have an herbal emergency kit. Always have an essential oil emergency kit. Always have a crystal herb emergency kit. You have all of these in there, and then you will find out that when you need it, it's there. You're able to relax. So he was sitting there. I was like, well, I didn't know if I was going to be able to use it. Dr. K said, go ahead and do what you do. He said, because evidently this is not working, and I can tell you don't take medication. Yeah. I said, well, I was getting these Remicade infusions, and then I almost died in April. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, my body does not like in natural things. Yeah. And that's when they discovered the filter last year. The same time, like, what? And I was like, nah. So that's what happened. I am not really a medical person. Yeah. They tried to put me on stuff. I was supposed to be in an electrical wheelchair for many, many years. I've been in and out fighting that. When you tell me I can't, I show you that I can. Because I'm letting you know my mind and my body is stronger than you think. I had this doctor tell me, he said, you are paralyzing your body. You really need this treatment. You really need to take this. And for a while, because I was feeling bad, it's COVID, he must know. And then he says, I've been doing this for 40 years and da-da-da. And I did these ultrasound and stuff. I said, but you haven't had a plan of how to help me. Only thing you could tell me is that you want me to take this. You want me to admit my body's going to go to pot, and you want me to be bedridden. And he's like, every time he's like, I'm surprised you walk in here every time, and I'm surprised you're still walking. I said, you know what? The first time they diagnosed me, the reason that I don't work as a nurse today is because my nurse caught me and I was skidding off the floor. I was determined that I was not going to stop working as a nurse, but my doctor said, I can't write you a note knowing this is, and did the blood test. The blood test did me in. If the blood test would have came back, I still would have worked through it. And guess what? It wouldn't have been a problem. But because of my situation, I turned out to be a better person. I went to school. I did crystals. I did Reiki, did essential oils, did Bach, start doing my readings. I mean, you name it. Well, I was doing reading of the dead forever and telling people how to get pregnant forever. But that came more in my repertoire, helping my daughter. Then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to Culinary Institute of America. I'm going to be a chef. So then I signed myself up where they told me, and I had my doctor write a note. This woman has to go to school. She you know, she might not be able to work as a nurse, but her mind has to be busy because it actually puts me in a state of depression if I'm not busy. I'm that type of person. And he wrote the note, and they were like, okay, well, normally we want you to get a degree to do something. Well, I took that degree and then I did a raw vegan chef. Huh? They didn't even hear, they never heard of that. Before I came, they knew about vegetarian, but then they didn't know about vegan. So then I was in there teaching the CIA how to be a vegan and how to educate the teachers. And then I'm sitting there arguing. She said, your diet is the worst diet to do it. Da, 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 da. And I was like, okay, let me school you. I said, that butter you talking about, I don't eat that. I make my own. That stuff you talking about, I don't drink that. I make my own. And I said, and then she's looking at me like,
you know what? I want to jump on that, because an underlying thing that you're saying but not actually saying. People look at vegetarians and vegans and they see that we are healthy. In some respects, some of us are overweight. Like I consider myself overweight right now. Okay, I got my COVID-25. And they immediately assume that you're eating poorly. I don't eat meat. I told Gregory that I was going to go on the, watch my intake or whatever after the holiday. He says, what do you mean? You're not taking anything in anyway. My diet is so pristine with regards to my culture. I don't eat all of the soul food and all the stuff that comes with the soul food. I'm talking about the fats and things like that, he's like, there's nothing wrong with your diet, but what's wrong is I have an imbalance in my calorie intake and activity burning those calories off. There's where my imbalance lies, but I hate that people look at you and assume that you're eating poorly. It's like, no, baby, I eat very healthy. I'm healthy as a hog. The last time I saw a doctor, the doctor said, "Ooh, you have the immune system of a 20-something-year-old." I'm 63 years old.
Right. But let me put this out, disclaimer. Not everybody's meant to be vegan and not everybody's meant to be vegetarian.
That is true. But just because those of us who appear to be overweight or whatever, please don't assume that we're not eating well. We're probably just eating too well.
But I tell people, I have to say that because a friend of mine shared with me. She's like, you push this vegan thing so much, and I said, because at the time I was vegan, and then I went raw vegan, and so and my doctor had to tell me this year, you got to put just a little bit of meat in your diet because of my blood type. And I was like, what does that have to do with the tea in China? And I said, well, I'm not going to eat a whole bunch of meat. Now that was a fight. We had to fight about that because my iron was low.
Then I would take iron supplements or eat something that natural that has iron, because a friend of mine, Bobby Matos, he was a vegetarian, and much of his life that I knew him, and I knew him for 15, 20 years. And for the very reason, he was Puerto Rican, and the very reason that your doctor told you, his doctor told him, man, you're going to have to start eating meat because you need a certain kind of protein. He never had any health issues, was never sick. He started eating meat, adding meat into his diet. He was dead within 5 years.
And you know what? When people that don't eat meat, there's a transition you got to do because you can kill yourself. My friend told, that's what I had to explain to him. And I was trying to explain to my aunt when I was vegan and vegetarian that she didn't understand. I said, listen, Auntie, I don't mean no harm, but I couldn't come to her wedding. And she says, I'm not going to order a special plate just for you to come. I was like, Auntie, I can't come because I'm not going to be sitting somewhere where I can't eat. So I didn't go to her second wedding because of that. And it took a lot of people to understand when you've been on that strict diet for so long, you can actually, by introducing that and not doing it properly, you can kill yourself, shut your body down. Now, if you work with someone that knows what to do, then that's it. So like I said, I have to say, if that's your thing, that's your thing. If you do, there's some people that, what is this new keto? and I'm trying to figure out the keto thing.
Oh, the keto diet. Yeah.
I've seen that. Because I used to do the when I was in culinary school, I knew every diet there was. There was the zone diet, there was the Atkins diet, there was the Weight Watchers diet, where you had to measure
Slim
your food
fast.
out.
Yeah.
Right, slim fast diet. I mean, you name it. It was so many diets out. And then when my daughter got diagnosed, I had to know the renal diet. And then they put her on medication. When they put her on the diet, that's when my daughter gained even more weight and her body became even more unhealthy. So I said, something's not right. I gotta tweak this. So then they said, oh, she's got high blood pressure or she got diabetes. And I was like, no, she doesn't. And then I said, do that work again. So because something's not right. Y'all messing around just to give my child some medication. The guy said, how you know? I said, because I could tell. Like, I diagnosed my daughter when she had a kidney problem. I was the one that told my doctor, there's something wrong with her kidneys. And they're like, oh, you're young, mom. You don't know what you're talking about. Da, 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 da. Your body, and I'm going to say this to everybody, your face, your ears, your feet is a map of your whole entire body. When you have certain parts of your body breaking out, chapping out, rash, hives, anything, that something in your body is off kilter.
Yeah.
And when you fix it, even at the bottom of your feet, can say your reproductive system is off, your intestines is off. So if you're sore in certain parts, you need to look at what's going on the inside of my body, what's organ, what meridian is off, what energy is not doing. These are things that need to be worked on and in your body. That's what I said. These play a key part, as we say, the change of life, and doors start to open. Because you might find out, well, I said, now I'll be 50. I said, now I can tell you to go jump over the moon and other things, and I'm going to do me. Now, if you don't like me, that's not my problem. That's your problem. That's your issue. And it's none of my business if you don't like me anymore. It used to be, do you care what people think? No, I don't.
Nope.
You know why I don't care?
I do my hair.
Because the thing is, at the end of the day, are they putting food on my table? Are they paying my bills?
That's what I was going to say. Which bill are they paying?
Right? Do they make sure I have a smile on my face? Or do they make sure that it's always something they're criticizing about? And you have to learn the difference. And sometimes you'll even separate, as you get going through the change, the people, the importance of your life, who's in it, and your circle might get smaller. Don't get sad. Don't get sad. Just know that whatever that is the time as a leaf has gone, and now you're in another season. And now the roots that you have planted, they're little seeds. Now they're real deep roots.
Yeah.
And I learned, I was like, you know what? I really don't have any friends and da 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 da. And I thought about it. I was like, at the end of the day, does it really matter? I was talking to my Aunt Lizzie yesterday. She's so funny. And she was telling me about my grandma, Grandma Carlisle. She had died. Like I said, I had five different gentlemen that were my father and played a major role. And maybe that's why I'm so strong and confident that I know I can go anywhere and do anything. My mom believed that anyway. I was like, Mom, I'm going to Hawaii. No, okay. Mom, I'm going here. All right. Mom, I'm in Thailand. You where? Okay. I got you. Just call me. Just let me know you're okay. Well, Mom, I'm in Korea. What? Okay. I got you. So I get that encouragement. Mom, I say I want to do this. Say do it. And then I have a brother. I mean, not my biological brother, but far as I'm concerned, he's my brother from another mother. And make sure that his word is go, sussy, go. And I was like, well, I'm doing it. Go, sussy, go. I'll be like, oh, man, my brother makes sure that I'm okay. Well, what's going on? What's this? I mean, he knows my children like my mama knows my children. Know where I move. Come to my house, been there. There's people that that make sure. Reason I'm laughing because my other baby is sitting up here trying to get up here and be close and personal. That's my baby Shaka. You want to say hi to Grandma? Say hi. Say hi.
Hey,
Say hi.
I heard you was attacking some little puppies or something the other day, protecting your mama.
Yes. So I just want them to, this is all things that have changed. Your environment changed. You might not even want to be in the same city when you go through the change of life. You might not want to be in the same job. You might, they call it a midlife crisis. No, it's called an awakening, baby.
Yeah.
It's an awakening of knowing who you are. When you realize who you are distinct. And like I said, I'm going to say it again. I am in my premortal state. I am working, as they say, I'm getting into my Godship. I don't know about y'all, but I'm making sure I stay in a Godship. So when you're in your Godship, you're working at that level. And there's going to be some challenges, as I say, you transition from being, I call it a mere mortal, a mere being. When you're realizing that and understanding all around you, it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you're passing that on. Like I said, my kids are my report cards. And I think my mama got a good report card with me. I think I got an outstanding report card with my children, even though my son worked my nerves. I gotta say, and my daughter, I mean, they were both challenging, but can I say, I am so blessed. I have a man of color, of multi backgrounds, Hispanic, Samoan, just all mixed up. What we call in Hawaii, he's a mixed plate. My son has never been on drugs, alcohol, run the streets, cuss out. Now, I heard him curse. I don't know if I haven't seen him curse out anybody, but he's always, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. There are some issues. My son is not perfect, but I can say my son has not been to jail, and he's 25. Yeah. My son was not out there running the streets. I've been blessed.
Yeah.
My daughter, the same thing. My daughter got an associate's degree through all her challenges. So I've been blessed. I was like, my report card, well, they're outstanding. I'm just like in my Bill Cosby voice.
I totally feel you. I'm a grandmother now, and there are two grandmothers, my son-in-law's mom and me. Who babysits?
You.
Okay. Yeah, that says it all for me right there. I wanted to share a piece with everybody because it just seems like it goes in with what we're talking about. I call this piece MPMB, or in other words, all things in its time. And you'll understand the MPMB in a moment. Move slower. That's the M. Walk with a more determined step. Think with a greater depth of thought. Speak with a sense of the profound. Work with a grander scale for ethics. Plan with a deeper sense of fulfillment. Love with a larger capacity for intimacy. Pay attention. That's the P. Keep the rose-colored lenses clear of the dust for clouding the issues. Take notice of all things seen and unseen. Keep in mind what could happen. Act on what is happening. Forget all but the lessons learned from what has happened. Make a difference. The other M. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Recognize the difference when. Do all that you can without condition, without caution, without fear. Decide on an action of benefit to self and the universe and all that exists within crossing parallels known and imagined. Be true. There's that B. To self, God, God's self, family, friend, and foe. Write no checks you cannot cash. Tell no lies or tales whose moral is out of balance with the present. See things and people for who and what they are, honestly and unconditionally. Follow your heart. It usually knows, and even when it doesn't, it won't fail you for the lessons of life it provides to you. Keep all this in mind as you progress through life. Take what you will and act on it, and that you will not put on the shelf of life for later. You will be able to use it, and all things in its time.
All right. All things in its time, and that's true. All in divine time. All in divine time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. So I know I'm gonna have a couple more people. It just seems like a lot of people have been transitioning. That seems to be the theme. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of people transitioning, and like I said, there's a lot of transformations that is
Mm-hmm.
happening. So guys, I have you on my heart, and I'm hoping that my shows, my friend was talking about the algorithm, that I have to probably fix the algorithm, because on my live shows, I don't have any of those keywords and stuff to put down there. So maybe I'll go back and fix it. But eventually, like I said, we at Food Alchemy Network, like I said, this is a metaphysical show that goes beyond esoteric and reaches into the deeper depths of your soul to help you understand the knowledge that has been with us since time and time has began. And I don't mean just on earth, I mean way beyond and beyond of the multi-universe of understanding that we are multi-universal people. We are. If we understand that, if you can understand that and really feel that, you are basically, I want to say 78% better than the rest that don't even understand it, doesn't have a clue. Because 78.6% don't believe there's other beings in the universe besides
Mm-hmm.
themselves. And I was shocked. I was like, wow. But then again, we're still on, we have to prove and see and feel before we know. And my thing is, I'm sending you Reiki. How can you know? Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel it? If you don't believe it, sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. If I do, I give you these herbs. They're not going to work unless you want them to. Somebody can give you the best stuff. It's called a placebo effect. I'm just saying,
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
want you to take, like I said, if you want to go through life, and being that this is a menopausal show and the change of life show, picture how you want to go through it and start working on that and doing what Joe Dispenza would say is mind meditation. It's mind over matter, because that's what it is, a matter. And
Mm-hmm.
understanding your eating habits are going to change. Your food choices are going to change.
Oh yeah.
Your walking habits is going to change. Your physical level is going to change. So you got to be the director, the what is it, the PE, the physical educator of yourself. I mean, these are all the things that you got to play. The coordinator, the musician, the orchestrator, all of that, the composer, because you are a symphony. That's basically what it is. Everything is all designed, like you said, designed by time.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to say thank you. But like I said, we do this every Sunday. I'm still trying to figure out a good time. If y'all would vote and let me know. Um, we're, like I said, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on Tumblr. What is it? We are that you can see this live. Twitch, Tumblr, Periscope. Um, and I'm going to work on having it also on Instagram, where we're going to be doing, where this circle is going to be on Instagram, so we can all be there at one time. As soon as I get that figured out, we're going to be really jamming. And next thing I said, by my birthday, we'll be on 24.7. I got a little cousin that I want to talk to about doing some, maybe being my DJ for this show. See?
Oh, Dr. D, I'm almost ready. You know the writing workshop that I do, the Oracle Self-Love Writing Workshop. I've just finished tweaking it. I've got to lay some vocals for some of the panels so that I can take it virtually.
Okay.
So I might, and let's give me because I'm one of those people. I once I really put it out there, it's got to be right. I'm gonna need several weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, and about a month before I'm ready. But I'd like to try and do the workshop on your show. It's an hour and a half, 90 minutes, and so we can get some people up and email them the materials that they would need so that they could participate and what have you. So we will talk about it. But I thought, this would be a good part of the beta test that I've been doing. The version that I gave you has changed. I've added a table of contents and other stuff and what have you. So this is the next step or next level in the beta test before I take it really out on the road. So
that sounds good. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all get to hear Shaka and Lacey. I told you stop messing with her because she gonna get you. She a chihuahua. She don't take no mess.
I guess a chihuahua and a bulldog. A pit bull.
He barking back. Stop it, boo-boo. He he barked back. No, get down. So, all right, we'll do it again. But like I said, we are going to have this every Saturday, so you never know who's going to come on. Who's going to
every Sunday?
Every Sunday.
You just said Saturday. Okay.
So I just want to make sure they stop by. We just haven't figured out a time. I like a little bit more participation, some phone calls, and I couldn't get that for the Save My Life. Blog Talk would not log on for the life of me. Said, you don't have a show for another 24 hours. I was like, what you talking about?
Put the wrong date or something in there.
No, it just wouldn't work. It was in the studio. It said I was supposed to be live.
But this is StreamYard. Is StreamYard and Blog Talk the same?
No.
Okay.
No, I take everything that we do. I'll take everything that we do, and it's uploaded onto Spotify podcasts, Amazon podcasts, and Apple. So you can find, like I said, you can find us anywhere. You say Food Alchemy Network, you put it up. If you want podcast live, you want video, you get both. So I'm making sure, like I said, we do it, hitting it an extreme 24/7. So I'm looking for my artists and my cartoon people. Come on. I got some artists that I want to see. My little niece, the one that was on for Mother's Day, she do some beautiful artwork. So I want it where one day for an hour that we're showing pieces and people can actually call and buy their art. So I'm trying to, as I said, I think outside the box. I'm not like the average Joe Blow, because we are going to have courses on our website that we're going to be 24/7 that people can actually buy the course online, just like you go to Gaia.
My writing workshop.
You go there and you'll be able to go and get that course, whatever it is. You pay the fee for the course, and then they get the recordings only when they pay, and there'll be a code. That's why it's taking me a little bit longer to get this off, because I want to give you something that you want to actually watch. And I want to make sure that I can give it to you at a fee that you can actually get and use. But also I want to make sure that my people that are teaching are going to get paid for their work. I'm like that. That's what kind of network is this. So, because we got a lot that's going to be offering. We're always putting shows on, and you'll always see something new. So we have another show that we're going to be doing besides the women show, a spinoff on other things. So yeah, I think what we're going to do is, like, every month, I think it was October, we did the healing week. We had a whole bunch of healers on, and then we had a bunch of readers, spirituals, like, so it's something like that, but it's going to be at another level, because I want to make sure Food Alchemy, we can actually do conferences. So you can actually come in Food Alchemy, you can come to your town and you see all the people that you see and be part of it. Why not? Why not get your healing live? Or come and get your healing here. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been on a lot longer than I wanted, because I want to give my mom time to speak and me to run my yak. And I'm going to play this last commercial for all you guys sitting out there wondering. Every commercial that you see on my network that you hear, I put together personally and made myself. So I will be making some commercials for the podcast so they can be do video as well as sound so they can hear just not the music. So we're coming at you live. Like I said, I'm always upgrading, always doing something new. So without further ado, I'm going to put on the food commercial and we will be going home or we'll be leaving the station. So you guys say bye.
See you later, alligator.